Opinion: Trump, Netanyahu and Putin have all blundered into dead-end wars, The New York Times. In this piece, Thomas Friedman tells us that the three leaders are vastly different, yet they share a common flaw: they all believe they're the smartest person in any room, and they surround themselves with sycophants. Those sycophants, Friedman argues, make the most dangerous mistake a leader can make, pulling them into campaigns that are essentially dead ends. Friedman begins with a warning: a reckless leader faced with a barrage of crow, a metaphor for problems, criticism, and external pressure, often instinctively doubles down on a losing strategy. He calls out Trump, Netanyahu, and Putin as prime examples. Turning to Israel's prime minister, Friedman explains two seemingly illogical decisions. First, the idea that Israel could topple the Iranian regime with a single large aerial strike. Second, that Israel could pick Iran's new leader. The writer does not merely present a critique, he gives context. He recalls the 1982 incident when the Lebanese Christian militia, the Phalangists, convinced the Mossad that a quick invasion would install Bashir Gemayel as president of Beirut. That episode informs Friedman's rule about the Mossad: if you want somebody eliminated in Beirut or Tehran, call the Mossad. If you want to understand political and social trends there, do not call the Mossad. Why does Friedman make this distinction? He says the Mossad is great at hunting enemies and killing them because it recruits disgruntled citizens from Lebanon, Iran, the West Bank, and elsewhere, those who hate their own governments and are eager to help Israel bring them down. Those very agents, he notes, tend to exaggerate how weak a regime is and how easy it would be to topple it. They want Israel to do the dirty work for them. The danger becomes clear when a dupe like President Trump, who apparently knows little about history, enters a White House meeting in February. Netanyahu and Mossad's director David Barnea pushed the idea that if Israel and the United States assassinated Iran's top leaders, the government would collapse and progressives would take over. Trump, misunderstanding the Mossad's strengths, laughs them out of the room in a way that confirms he believes assassination equals political upheaval. Through this example, Friedman illustrates the broader theme: when powerful leaders think they understand every dynamic and ignore the hard analysis that intelligence services provide, they push policies that break down when they meet reality. The article doesn't stop at Netanyahu, it folds in Putin, using the same pattern of overconfidence and reliance on sycophants. Each scenario points to a leader's willingness to double down, fighting what he thinks is a losing war because he fears admitting a mistake. In closing, Friedman reminds listeners that the perils of such leadership are not just alt-text theory, they have real, often deadly, consequences. The article ends with a sober call to recognize that the smartest people in a room are still humans, not omniscient strategists, and that careful analysis serves better than blind confidence. That's all for today. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next week.